Mistakes to avoid when building a photo studio. Building a photo studio does not have to be complicated, and you can usually start pretty small without a ton of fancy equipment. But there are things you'll definitely want to focus on so that you don't overspend or spend too much time and energy on things that don't actually make a difference. So I've worked out of a commercial space, I've worked out of a home studio, and I've rented from others as well. I have a ton of experience in this, and I'm going to share with you my 5 biggest mistakes most new photographers make when building out their own studio. Hello, my name is Mike Lloyd. I'm a professional photographer in Silicon Valley, California, and I've been doing this for 13 years. Again, I've worked in a commercial space that I've helped start from scratch. I have a home studio now that I absolutely love. I've rented from others all over the country. I've seen a lot of different studios. I've made a lot of my own mistakes, and I want to share those with you. Because if I could do it all over again, and like I did with this space right here, we get so much use out of every square foot in this room without needing a ton of stuff. And you can do the same. So my 5 big tips. Number 1, less is more. Number 2, it's all about the personal touches. 3, make sure it fits your brand. 4, consider the approach. And 5, don't build a studio to impress anyone. Okay. Number 1, less is more. This is huge. I've rented a studio from somebody in the past, and when I need like a huge open like warehouse commercial space, that's a local studio that I would rent. And one of the last times I went down there, thankfully it was just to like go see the space and check it out again because I hadn't been in a while. The owner told me, we've got all this great new furniture, all these great sets. There's so much here that you can play with. I'm like, cool. I really just need a white seamless for filming these videos, but that's awesome. So I go in and there's furniture stacked on furniture. And it's like an episode of Hoarders where we're walking through a pathway of just stuff piled everywhere before it opens up into the shooting area. And I'm thinking, if I want that couch, I got to move like 17 chairs and a fridge and I don't know, build a bridge, solve a riddle for a troll. By then my shoot's already done. My client's already asleep. I don't know. Not ideal. So 0% chance I'm going to want to work in a place like that. Also, I spoke on the phone with a friend this morning, little less extreme case, but he's got a studio, and a few years ago, they bought a ton of backdrops. So he was telling me this morning, he's like, we got $15,000 in custom canvas backdrops that are just sitting. We don't even use them. And it's so easy when you're building out the studio to think, well, what if we need a brown backdrop or a red one or a blue one or a white one or a black one? And you want to get all these different colors and patterns and textures and scenes, but you don't need any of that stuff. And you'll find that there's a couple you're going to use a lot and the rest are just going to sit. It's just going to be a waste of money. So less is absolutely more when it comes to building your studio. Start small and you can always add things to it. So with furniture in my own studio, I've got 2 stools, 2 chairs, a chaise lounge, and a bed and a bench. And that is already a lot for this space because there's me, my client, my makeup artist. My client usually brings a suitcase or 2 in. We've got a clothing rack that I wheel in the hall next to the bathroom where my clients do all their changing. But I also have the makeup carts and my light stands. There's a lot of stuff that needs to go on in this room. So when we shoot on the bed, everything gets pushed onto the chaise lounge. And then when we shoot over there, we move stuff to the bed. And when we move to the backdrop, we move everything to the other wall. So we have a good system in place of like rotating things as we move around the studio. And we do that quickly while my client changes. But I would love to have more space so that I don't need to move all that stuff. I have 0 desire to add any more to my studio at this point. As cool as it'd be to have a throne or, different pieces of furniture, I don't need it. And eventually, when I get to a point where I want a commercial space where I've got multiple photographers shooting under me, then yes, I will happily go out and purchase more furniture. All right, number 2, it's all about the personal touches. Having a welcome sign with your client's name on it is going to go so much farther in making an incredible experience for them, which is really what we're doing here, than having a neon sign on the wall that says, stay sexy, because they're going to see that and think, oh, cool, a neon sign. But I can't tell you how many of my clients walk up and take a selfie with the sign and post it on Instagram because they feel welcome already. That's free marketing and they feel great. That's a win for everybody. Having a candle burning, offering bottled waters or Prosecco or something non-soda when they come in here night and day. Little things like that make way more of a difference than having other decoration that you think is really cool. I would rather be more intentional with every single thing that goes into the studio and make sure it adds to their experience. And always test things. If you put something in there and find out that, you thought that wall decor was really cool and then it's not great for photos, get rid of it. This wall that you can't see right now is purple. Now it's a matte purple, like zero reflection. I love it. I shoot against it every single shoot. It used to be white because I wanted it to just feel more open in here. But I found that, with my lighting style, it was great, but I was getting too much light bouncing off of that. And then I had this huge blank spot where I needed to fill it with something. And I tried wreaths and fabric and all kinds of different decorations, and none of it worked. None of it filled the space well in a way that didn't detract from the photo of my client. So I just repainted the wall. I don't need anything fancy up there, and it's amazing. So don't be attached to anything. Be willing to change it because it needs to add to the client experience. Number 3, does it fit your brand? In the last couple of years in the boudoir scene, we've seen milk baths and we've seen angel wings and all kinds of trends like that. There's a bunch of studios that have sex swings hanging up now. Like, that's cool if that's what you want to do, but is it actually your brand? Do you want to do it? Or do you feel like you need to do it because you saw an influencer online have it in their own studio? What's important in a studio? Lights, a photographer, and a client. You don't need angel wings. I know some photographers get to up their sales by having an add-on, but man, those things take up a ton of space. And I can see those fading out in the next year or so. And now you're going to be stuck with these giant wings that what the F are you going to do with them? You paid a lot of money for them. There are some cool photos that have been taken with them, and it's a stylistic choice. If you love it, own it. But consider the things that you're adding. Do they actually match your brand? It doesn't need to just be a trendy thing that you're doing for the sake of being trendy. One of the downsides to chasing trends like that, yes, you might get clients who come in going after the specific trendy things, but you're also going to lose clients because your work isn't timeless. My photos 5 years ago are the same as they are now. My posing got better, my lighting got better, but the photos feel the same. And that's what's important. It's like any fashion trend. We laugh at the things that we did 10 years ago, but at the time it was normal, it was cool. And that's how photography is as well. Think of the glamour shots from the 90s and the 80s, right? With the soft focus, the feather boas. We laugh at that now, it's a joke. But at the time, that was the cool thing to do. So when you are chasing trends with your photography, that is what you are putting yourself at risk of becoming. Being timeless, though, is what's going to attract people in the long term because they're always going to get the same amazing results from you. Number 4, and this one is freaking huge. Huge. The approach. What is it like when your client pulls up and parks? How is their walk from the car to your front door? What is the walk from the front door to where they're actually going to be shooting and when they leave again? This is super duper important. I had a friend. She started a new business a few years ago, signed a lease on a place, found out there's no lights in the parking lot of this commercial space. So no one wanted to walk out to their car by themselves alone at night with no lights out. And I don't blame them. Given we're in a safe area, it doesn't matter. That's not providing a good experience for our clients. So she got out of there very quickly and is now in a way better spot. So consider that when you are inviting clients to wherever it is you're going to be shooting. If it's kind of a sketchy neighborhood, if it's not the nicest part of town, your client needs to feel safe and comfortable from the moment they arrive. If they walk to your home studio and maybe you've got a studio in the back or the fully furnished basement and it's the most beautiful studio ever, but there's like dirty plates and food spilled on the coffee table and the couch in the living room as they're walking in, and the kids are over there fighting, and there's like laundry strewn about the floor and things don't look good inside the home, your client is absolutely going to feel that and bring that energy into the studio. So you need to make sure every step of the way, like literally every step they are taking from when they arrive to when they leave, is as safe and comfortable as possible. And you might not be in the best situation right now. I get it. I used to shoot when I was living in an apartment and I would rent spaces otherwise because I didn't want to invite people into the middle of my apartment complex. It wasn't a bad area, but like I got to go out and meet them and hope there was a parking space in the visitor spot and then walk through all the buildings and take them up to the apartment. And that wasn't a good shoot experience. So I rented a space and I lived in my apartment, I made more money, and now I'm in a better place. So start where you need to, work your way up to where you want to get. It doesn't all have to happen now, but you absolutely have to provide a safe, comfortable environment every step of the way for your clients. And number 5, no one will be impressed by your studio. No one cares how expensive your camera was, what kind of lights you use. No one cares how big and fancy your photo studio is. The thing that they will remember and that really matters is, do they look good in the photos? Do they have an amazing time doing it? Do they feel better about themselves when they left? That's it. So I learned a very valuable lesson a few years ago. And by a few, I mean 8. I rented a giant commercial studio. I went in on it with another photographer because I couldn't afford to do one on my own. We did a ton of renovations inside and nobody cared. I didn't make any more money in that space than I did when I was renting a smaller space from somewhere else. But now I had this monthly overhead that I had to worry about taking care of. So bigger, fancier lights and modifiers and camera gear, our clients don't care. To see the big telephoto lens with the lens hood on it, like it's not a thing. If it makes you feel cooler, that's great, but focus on the other things, the approach, the personal touches, making it a great environment. How are you posing someone, giving them direction, everything else that you do? That is really what matters. Your studio, like your lenses, like your camera, like your computer, it's a tool for a job. It accomplishes one thing. It provides a space for you to shoot in where you have flexibility to control your environment. That's it. The studio itself should not be the impressive thing. It's just a vehicle that helped you get there. So there you go. Those are the 5 biggest mistakes I see new photographers make when building their own studio. Number 1, less is more. Number 2, focus on the personal touches. Number 3, everything needs to fit your brand. Number 4, the approach. Make sure everything feels safe and comfortable from when they arrive to when they leave. And number 5, the studio isn't the thing that impresses people. So don't go overboard thinking you need this huge space to be a legit photographer. You don't. I have other great videos on this channel about how to build your own studio. I got a tour of my own home studio on here as well. And if you want to have more conversation about this, you can either drop them in the comments or come join us in the Boudoir Guild Facebook group. We would love to have you there. You are amazing. See you inside.